Soon after the genocide in Rwanda started, death also came to the university town of Butare in southern Rwanda. On the 22nd of April 1994, soldiers arrived in the town. Jean-Claude Ruzigandekwe was at the time a medical student.
So they came and took many Tutsi students and other students who are suspected, and they brought them in the forest and they shot them there.
In Butare, it was not only the soldiers and Interahamwe that killed. Students killed, university lecturers killed, and doctors killed. Ordinary people joined in the slaughter. Many handed Tutsis to the soldiers, and others drew up lists of victims, and some actively killed.
They must be judged for their killing. And they were also in collaboration with some of the students. They also must be judged.
Butare is the intellectual center of Rwanda and was a haven of tranquility before the genocide started. It was also the only district or prefecture in Rwanda with a Tutsi councillor or prefect in charge. When the genocide broke out, killing was slow in Butare. In fact, many refugees from Kigali and other areas in Rwanda fled to the hospital in Butare to look for safety and refuge. The Tutsi prefect was murdered and an army colonel installed. The killing campaign had to be intensified. The newly elected Prime Minister, Jean Kambanda, went to Butare to urge his followers to join in the campaign to exterminate all Tutsis. He also gave them weapons.
Kambanda, the Prime Minister, went there to appeal to the people of Butare not to be left behind. They were urging the people not to become onlookers when the rest of their brothers were busy doing their national duty. They would tell them that they should get rid of the vermins from their midst.
The local people adhered to his call. According to some estimates, 4 out of every 5 Tutsis in the district of Butare were killed in the genocide. The University Hospital of Butare was one of the targets. Many were killed in the hospital and churches where they sought refuge. The comprehensive 1,200-page genocide report of the human rights organization African Rights says that several doctors and medical personnel actively participated in the murders. They handed Tutsi patients over to the soldiers and Interahamwe to be killed. Other patients were forced out of hospitals and killed at the gate. Certain extremist Hutu doctors killed their Tutsi and moderate Hutu colleagues. These people, the report says, had betrayed the ethics of their profession. 2 senior members of the interim government that oversaw the genocide were medical doctors. Dr. Theodore Sindikubwabo was the president, and Dr. Casimir Bizimungu, the Minister of Health.
Very few have been arrested. They are outside the country. They are either in Europe, some parts of Africa, or in North America.
African Rights names several doctors who had been active in the killing. Dr. Pierre Mugabo was an internist at the university hospital. It says that while he might have saved some people, he and one of his sons actively participated in the murder of doctors and lecturers. The report says they were among the Interahamwe soldiers who went to kill the refugees. Their victims included children. Dr. Mugabo's wife, Felicity Musanganire, was a nurse with the local AIDS project. The report says she was particularly vicious. Witnesses said she had a lot of teachers killed. The couple looted much of the belongings of the victims and had a shop full of looted goods. Mugabo and Masanganire are wanted for first-category genocide, which puts them amongst the most wanted Rwandese fugitives.
They directly were involved in the genocide, in the massacres of fellow Rwandans where they were working at their places of work.
When the Rwandese Patriotic Front liberated Butare, Dr. Mugabo and his wife were among the thousands of refugees who fled before the advancing rebels. Dr. Mugabo worked in refugee camps for several months before the couple left for Kenya. Since then, they have disappeared. Cape Town, it is well known today, has become a haven for international fugitives from justice. Among them are a top leader of the Sicilian mafia, Chinese triads, and Nigerian drug lords. But the University of the Western Cape is hardly the kind of institution where one would expect to find genocide accused. The university has a proud liberal tradition and human rights record. This is where Dr. Mugabo finds himself, as a senior doctor in the Department of Pharmacology. His wife is a student in the Department of Nursing. We approached him for an interview in his office on the campus last week.
There's nobody that can speak on your behalf.
Yeah, we speak in due time. But I don't like interviews. I don't see what time it's fair. I'm not steady in the middle of the interviews. I'm not a politician.
It's not about being a
And if I
politician.
have to speak, I speak in due time. But not in the podcast.
Mugabo denies any complicity in the genocide. He said he and his wife are victimized by the Rwandese government.
And what they were doing was simple. Directly involve themselves in planning for the death of people who are under their care.
And what are you going to do with the pictures we are taking now?
We're going to broadcast it.
Are you allowed to do so?
What the government of Rwanda is doing, we put categories of the most wanted criminals, especially the planners. We look at the professionals. Professionals involved in planning for the killing of, and using the peasants and all that, the mass to kill.
I don't allow you to give me a minute to present my picture on broadcast. But in due time, and I'm sure that we have to talk again.
No, I'm sure you have to.
Yeah. But at that time then, I will allow you to do so.
The Rwandese embassy in Pretoria has officially requested the extradition of Dr. Mugabo and his wife. The Rwandese government wants them to be arrested and sent back to Rwanda, where they would be incarcerated and stand trial on charges of genocide. The Department of Foreign Affairs confirmed the request and said they have referred it to the Department of Justice. South Africa, however, has no extradition treaty with Rwanda.
Within the laws of your country, if at least you can't give him to me, then please apprehend him, especially when it regards the crime against humanity. If you can't give him to Rwanda, you apprehend him. You do justice for the sake of humanity. Don't let him roam around.
Yes, we are aware some are in South Africa, others are in many other countries. Yes, South Africa is one of them. There are some who are hiding in South Africa.
Most of them get here illegally through the porous borders, especially between South Africa and Swaziland, South Africa and Mozambique. Sometimes it has been seen that they get some help to sneak into South Africa illegally. Then when they get in, they ask for asylum after a week or two.
In December last year, Dr. Mugabo and his wife had applied for new Rwandese passports. The applications were sent from the Algerian capital of Algiers to Kigali in Rwanda. A letter from the United Nations High Commission for Refugees accompanied the applications. It stated that Dr. Mugabo and his wife had been living in Algeria since 1989, an absolute lie. Dr. Mugabo, however, denied that he had ever applied for a new passport. In February this year, another genocide accused was extradited from South Africa to the International Tribunal in Arusha in Tanzania. He will soon stand trial on charges of genocide.
The mayor of Komine Mabanza in Kibuye province, it's Western Rwanda, was extradited from South Africa to Arusha in February 1999 by the UN Tribunal.
What is he accused of?
Well, he planned, organized, and directly involved himself in the killings of people in his district.
This Rwandese journalist who had followed Prime Minister Kambanda on his genocide campaign was Gerard Gatare, a university graduate and member of the government party. When the Rwandese Patriotic Front took power in Rwanda after the genocide, Gatare left the country and came to South Africa, where he worked illegally.
We definitely have all the reason to suspect that he must have had a hand in the genocide.
He is wanted among the people who are the instigators of genocide. We have the planners, and then we have those who are used, especially the media. Some people in the media were used as a very big tool of mobilizing for the killings of fellow Rwandans.
Well, it was shameful. I would simply say, put it that way, the journalists really went out of their way and supported the genocide.
He came to South Africa. He worked for SABC, Canal Afrique, I think. He was jailed here once, trying to go to Canada with illegal papers. I think he got help from one of the churches, the Methodist Church. Got him released, of course with the help of other suspected Rwandans. And I think after release, he worked again around here, and then he's gone to UK.
We have to bring people to justice. Justice after genocide must be seen to be done anyway.
If Pierre Mugabo and Felicity Masanganire are extradited to Rwanda, they will be amongst the 130,000 les genocidal accused incarcerated in Rwandese prisons. 1,300 people have so far been convicted of genocide. The sentence for genocide can be death. 22 were publicly executed last year. If found guilty, Mugabo and Masanganire might have to face the firing squad.